Happy Sunday, BoobTube. This is a Transformers reveal video of sorts. It's not the typical ones that I've been doing lately. It doesn't go in line with all these Masterpiece toys I've been unboxing over the last number of weeks and a couple months, maybe, whatever it's been. It's a little bit different. I'm currently between Masterpiece figures. I have one on the way and a bunch I'm going to order as soon as the exchange rate goes down, now that COVID has made the world panic into oblivion. So there will be more, just not right now. So this one is, there's a few different things. There is a Transformer I found at Winners in the toy section. You know, they always have discounted toys there, but there's very few of them, and you never know what you're going to find. They're always different. So I did find a pretty cool one there a while back. And then I also ordered, I threw on a G1 reissue toy to a Walmart order a number of months ago, just to bring me up to the $50 minimum for free shipping. It was just like a $8 toy. So one of the Microbots that I always wanted as a kid but didn't get. So it was kind of a no-brainer to fill that in with something like that. And then also a little something else at the end to supplement the Transformer theme of today's reveal, as it usually is. So the first one, the one that I added onto my Walmart order, the Microbot G1 reissue toy, is the Autobot, Autobat, that would be Ratbat, he's a Decepticon. The Autobot Warpath. Warpath was one of the smaller Transformers toys, much like Bumblebee, Beachcomber, Cosmos, Cliffjumper, Gears, Brawn. They were the smaller Autobots. Huffer, they came in the Microbot series, which virtually the toys transformed in like 2 or 3 different motions, just like I mentioned on the Bumblebee one a while back. And Warpath, I don't remember when he came along. He wasn't in the original run of robots for the Autobot team, but he came along a little later, and he transforms into a tank, and he thinks he's really impressive, kind of like the Power Glide, the plane. They're both very loudmouth and like to boast and brag and stuff like that. The other Autobots like Warpath and his personality, but they sometimes he thinks he's a little more effective than he actually is. Now in tank mode, I guess he's very slow, of course, and if his treads get damaged, he can be rendered virtually ineffective if he can't travel anymore. But he does have a very effective shot and accurate shot with his gun barrel on the tank, which is his prized possession. He thinks very highly of his weapon and how he is able to wield it. So that's kind of what Warpath is all about. I didn't get video clips of these two guys because my life has been kind of turned upside down, and I'm only really doing that because of the COVID, but I'm only really doing the video sequences for those Masterpiece toys because they're kind of the deluxe King of the Hill toys that I'm getting, so this is just kind of a fun one. So I'm going to take him out of the package right now for all to see, Warpath, and we'll have him transformed in about 3 seconds. So okay. So you put his head down into the turret, flip his arms up, pull him back, and flip him down, and then push him back in. So there he is in tank mode. He's got the full rotation. He can even pop his head up. Oh, hello, it's Warpath, not a regular tank. And then, yeah, that's about it. He's got wheels underneath so you can actually roll them. And then he's got one of the, these were my favorite things as a kid, the Autobot or Decepticon symbol that were blank, and then you had to rub it to see, like, oh my god, who does this guy belong to? Like, you damn well knew before you bought the toy, but apparently I'm not very hot. There it is. As you can see, he is an Autobot. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. But anyways, that is Warpath. He was actually a really cool character. I really liked Warpath in the original cartoon. And his toy, I mean, it's so simple and basic, but it is one that for some reason I really remember of the Microbot series. This is one of the ones that I always wanted and really remembered. I think because he was a tank. The Autobots had so many cars and trucks and stuff that, which I love, but it was cool when you saw somebody who was a little bit different, like when Powerglide came along, he was a jet, or Warpath as a tank, you know? It was just something a little bit different for the Autobots, right? So, anyways, that is Warpath. The next Transformer here is a Decepticon, and he is a triple changer, which, as a kid of the original toys, one of the really cool ones that I did have, which I traded to somebody and I've regretted it ever since, was Blitzwing. He was a triple changer Decepticon, a real ruthless brute who turned into a tank and a jet and obviously a robot. And I thought it was pretty cool how they engineered this toy to not only be a robot in an alternate mode, but another alternate mode. Yeah, it seemed pretty crazy to me that they could manage that. But there's a lot of people out there a lot smarter than I am, that's for sure. So I always really liked the idea of the whole triple changer series, and there was, I'm not even sure if there was maybe 10 triple changers in the whole series by the end of it, but there were a handful of them, and I always remember them being, sorry, still so tired, I think I have cancer. Anyways, they were just such memorable characters for their versatility, as, like, you know, you had Astrotrain, who was a robot or a train, which was kind of limited to tracks or whatever, but, or was he? He probably wasn't, but, and then a space shuttle, right? So he had his land mode, his air mode, and his robot mode. And same thing with Blitzwing, as a tank, as a jet, as a robot. And but this one is somebody a little different. I didn't have his toy as a G1 toy, but I did have Astrotrain and Blitzwing, and maybe, I'm trying to think if I had any of the other ones, but this was one of the other Decepticon ones, and his name is Octane. So Octane was kind of a bully, I guess. He specialized in fuel and refueling, and he knew that he was an important robot because of his function, and that he could kind of, you know, hold it over people about needing fuel, and he had the fuel, right? And he was and he just loved to cause mayhem and crashes and destruction, and a lot of times it didn't even matter if his own side got cut up on it. So he was kind of an ass, really. but a cool character. I really like his character. So his alternate modes are a tanker truck for refueling, and then almost like it looks a little. He almost looks space shuttle-ish in this one, between a space shuttle and a plane. But in the original one, he was just like a jumbo jet, like a jetliner sort of thing. So in his tanker mode, he didn't really have much weaponry. He was heavily armored to protect his fuel supply, but in jet mode he was very vulnerable. He was simply used as a transport. He didn't have any weaponry or anything. So, but I'm gonna get this guy out of the box, and then we'll see if he's gonna be easy to transform or not. I almost think he's missing some weapons or something, because when I was shaking the box at Winners, it almost looked like it had already been opened before. And I see that he doesn't even have instructions. Okay, so maybe we won't be transforming him today. So yeah, so there's a reason why this was so cheap. It's because people have swiped the instructions and whatever weapon that was supposed to be in there. Something. Anyways, but chances are I would have screwed it up and taken much longer to do it anyways. But here he is in his robot mode. There's just a few things that are out of whack, I guess. There we go. Yeah, it's almost like somebody bought this and had it out of the package and put it back in or something, but for how cheap it was, I don't really care. But let me have a look at the packaging. Okay, he's got these big... Ah, there we go, okay. So apparently these are supposed to do something. Flip up. Come on, baby. There we go. Okay, so those go like that. God damn. There we go. So that's that. I guess he's got some feet that are supposed to pop out here somehow. That can go like that. Okay. Fees. Boom. Maybe I'll look his instructions up online. Maybe they have them on their website or something, but apparently I see. That looks a lot better. Just do that. Bang. Thick legs, baby. To kick some ass. Okay, our fist comes out, arm comes down. Let me. Oh, that looks neat. I wonder what that was for. Anyways, he looks like a pretty cool character. Lots of good detail. Just trying to figure out how his wings are supposed to go. Something like that. There he is. Octane, just like I remember him. Gray, purple. Big and mean. Yep, so I think that's it. Oh yeah, see there's the blaster he's holding. Oh, this is one of the headmasters. Okay. He wasn't a headmaster. The headmasters came later in the series, like maybe the last season. Or maybe it was this series that happened right after the Transformers movie. But people became linked with Transformers and it formed the heads of some guys. And so they ended up being like these little dudes. So this guy here... It actually is a little dude that forms his head. His face is on the back there. So I'm not sure why he's a headmaster, but they do this from time to time. They kind of reissue things and do them in different, like, almost like they were in a different series sort of thing, you know? So it's kind of weird, but I kind of like it when they just stick with the original. If you want to come up with new characters, come up with new characters. But anyways, that is Octane right there. He's pretty cool. I'll have to do some more rearranging to find a spot for him and Warpath. But that is that one. So sorry for the letdown on the instructions. I knew this thing might have been missing something because I remember shaking it in the store and going like, okay, there's something that should be in there. But it sounded like there was something loose in the box. But I don't know what it was that was shaking in there because nothing else was in there. So, but anyways, it was cheap. So I'm not that upset. Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to open up a couple of packages I have. These are the Transformers trading card game, booster packs for it. This is what they look like. So they came in a couple of issues of my, when I do my comics reviews, there's the Transformers series, the Bold New Era. A couple of issues along the way have been in bags and have come with these free packs of cards in them to try and obviously get people to also buy the trading card games. I love these types of games, but the only problem is I've never had anybody to play them with. Most of my friends, most of which have moved away, are out of town now. They were never into that sort of thing, and James is still a bit too young, I think, to have the patience to sit down because a lot of them are pretty complicated, and a lot of rules and such. So, and my wife, well, she's not good for anything that's in my wheelhouse, so she's not an option. So. But a lot of times I even like just getting stuff like this just to have them and to look at them because a lot of times there's cool artwork, you know, unique stuff on them, right? So, and I love that sort of thing. I I would love to be an artist. I'm not good enough to really be my own artist to create originals and stuff, but I love to recreate stuff. So anytime I see artwork, it always really interests me. So there are 8 cards in a pack. So I just want to open them up and see what they look like. And if it's something cool, maybe I'll pursue getting some more. But there's too much stuff I want to buy, so chances are I won't be getting any more of these unless they're free inserts again. Alright. So it comes with a big character card. Oh, baby. And I love this guy, as you know, from my previous reveals. Inferno, the Autobot fire truck. Fearless firefighter, it says. Love that character. And then it comes with 7, I think, of the regular battle cards, is what they're called. We got Improvised Shield with Ultra Magnus, Inspiring Leadership with Starscream, Brainstorm, Wheeljack. Oh yeah. New designs, I don't know who that is. The bigger they are, well, it looks like he's fighting maybe Onslaught or something. Treasure Hunt, Hot Rod. Yeah, so I'll just I'll show you those in a minute. Next one. Yeah. Oh, I just clipped my nails the other day. Now I'm needing all sorts of stuff to get into. Ugh. Okay. Oh, cool. That's one thing I haven't seen in the Masterpiece series of toys yet when I've been searching for them is the Dinobots. And the reason I mention that is who I got this time was the Dinobot Swoop, the pterodactyl. He was always really cool. There's this pterodactyl mode. That's a couple good characters there. This one, Medic, Ratchet, Drill Arms. I don't know who that is, but I like him. Datapad, Ready for Action, little Ironhide action. Optimus Prime, Ion Blaster, Sunstreaker, nice. Backup Plan, Prime. All right, so here's what the cards look like. There's the back of them, just a generic sort of thing. And so on and so forth. So yeah, it's got the lots of information on it about, you know, the +1, the +2s, the action that it does. So yeah, like these games always take a lot of reading and understanding. And I find when you play these types of games, not that I've played a ton of them over the years, but it takes a few playthroughs to get used to exactly how it works. And oftentimes I find in games like this too, sometimes you make your own rules along the way. If something doesn't seem right or you don't like it, you just change it to how you think it would be better, sort of thing. So, but anyways, I love this sort of thing. So as free inserts, you know, I will put this in my Transformers on my Transformers shelf with the rest of the stuff. And if the chance ever comes to get more and get into the game and actually get the instructions and the starter pack or whatever you usually get, I will definitely take that opportunity and hopefully find somebody to play it with. But anyways, today's video was just a kind of a random thing to get open a few things that I've had sitting on the shelf for a little while and get them added to the reveal shelf and get them into the mix of all the other characters. So I will be back at some point in the future with some other ones once I'm able to acquire more. But this should be the last one for at least a little while anyway. So, but until then, and the reason I'm doing it from down here in my regular room is because with the quarantine of the COVID thing, which I love, to be honest, in terms of staying at home all the time, because I practice social distancing just as a general rule because I don't really like people. That's not exactly fair, but I don't like being around large groups of people in general. I don't know if I have social anxiety or I just don't like people in general, but I'm more of a one-on-one, one-on-two, small group kind of people I know well, and so this is almost like, and I'm very much an introvert, so this is very much like I could get used to this, right? But the problem is my wife, because she's home, and she's very much an extrovert and is always getting things messed up and whatever. The TV room that I normally do these videos in is now her office for the time being from working from home. So everything in there is out of whack. So I chose to just come down here and do it here today because it was a different kind of reveal anyways, so it would all work out. So that is the reason. But anyways, as I ramble on here, this is the last one for a little while, but make no mistake, I will be back at some point in the future. And in the meantime, you can enjoy all of the other garbage I post to my channel. So until then, sayonara.